Do you have trouble saying words with ing endings? If so, stay tuned because I'm going to explain how to successfully pronounce these types of words. Hi, I'm Lori with Pronunciation Pro, and in each of my videos I provide just a snippet of information about American English pronunciation. A snippet is a small amount of something, so the idea is to walk you through this process of pronouncing American English one small baby step at a time. Today I want to talk about ing word endings. Some of my students really struggle with these, and they end up pronouncing that ending as in or ing. This is really understandable because of the spelling here. Let's just talk about that vowel first. Normally, the lowercase I is pronounced as in English. But for ing word endings, that I is pronounced with an E sound. For the E, the tongue is very high in the mouth and muscularly tense, meaning all those muscles are engaged. And for the tongue is lower and more relaxed. Again, it's the E sound that you want for ing word endings. So that's the first issue, the vowel sound that's being used. Secondly, if you're thinking of the N and the G as two separate sounds, you're going to say ing. However, when N occurs in front of G in English, they're not two separate sounds, and g, but rather one distinctly different sound, The sound is a back of the tongue sound, whereas the n sound is a tip of the tongue sound. The tip of your tongue should stay low and away from the roof of your mouth on the sound. I did a whole video on this topic, so if you haven't yet watched that video and you've been assuming that ng is pronounced ng, stop right now and go watch it. Okay, so if we put these two sounds together, the E and the ng, we get ing. This is how you correctly pronounce those ing word endings, ing. So let's take some specific words to show you examples of incorrect versus correct pronunciation. This word is not rainin or raining, but raining. This word is not speakin' or speaking, but speaking. This word is not wakin' or waking, but waking. And this word is not everything or everything, but everything. Now, I do have to admit that sometimes you will hear that in ending from native speakers. And here are the two situations when you will hear that. First, in some parts of the US, especially in the South, it's a common dialectical difference to say in instead of ing. Someone from the South might say, I'm thinking about going fishing. It's really only appropriate for somebody who has grown up in that culture and environment, though. It sounds a little strange when a non-native speaker does it, so this is not something to imitate. Also, when Americans, even those who don't live in the South, are talking very casually, they might say things like, how are you doing? Or, I'm walking to work today. But this is only acceptable in very casual speech. This is not standard American English and would not be appropriate when speaking to superiors at work or to potential customers or when giving a speech at an event, for example. And even if we occasionally pepper our speech with these more casual pronunciations of ing, We don't do it for every single word with an ing ending. If I said this sentence using that casual ending every single time, it would sound like this. Thank you for being a good friend and taking the time to help me with fixing my washing machine. Again, this consistent use of in would be a dialectical difference. It's not standard American English. Now, if you're one of those people who theoretically understands what the ing ending is supposed to sound like, but it's just not coming out right when you're attempting to pronounce it, I want to give you a few helpful tips. Usually the main problem occurs with the vowel sound. The tongue is not high enough in the mouth to produce an E sound because it doesn't feel natural to use such a muscularly tense tongue position for an unstressed syllable, and the ing ending will always be in an unstressed syllable. To make matters worse, we typically drop our pitch on the ing ending of a word. Walking, driving, cooking, smiling. When the pitch drops, your tongue wants to relax as well, but you can't let it. Your tongue has to stay up high in the E position, even though your pitch is falling. So, to give your tongue time to get into that very high, tense position and stay there, lengthen the vowel a little bit longer than you normally would. So instead of saying talkin', stretch out that second vowel, talking. Instead of saying hopin', stretch out that last vowel, hoping. This means don't be in such a rush to close off the word with that final consonant sound. Let your tongue fully pronounce the E sound before you close off the word with that consonant ng. Okay, let's practice some sentences. For each of these sentences, I'm going to hold out that E vowel just a little bit longer so you can practice that skill. After I say each sentence, hit the pause button and try to say it just like I did. Remember, just because you're dropping your pitch on the ing doesn't mean that your tongue is going to relax and drop. Keep those muscles working and keep it up high in your mouth. Are you ready? Let's start. I like drinking coffee while I'm making my breakfast. She is thinking of starting her own business. Will you be dining with us this evening? Everything is going really well. He is sitting in the living room. Hearing that speech was quite motivating. I try to go running every morning. Teaching others can be very rewarding. It's frustrating to be working so late. They have been developing some winning strategies. So now you know how to successfully pronounce those ing word endings. Let's review those points one more time. Number 1, keep that tongue up in a high E for the vowel. Number 2, hold out that vowel a little bit longer before you move to the ending consonant. And number 3, close that syllable with the back of your tongue, not with the tip. I hope you found this explanation of the ing word endings to be helpful. If so, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And I'd love it if you'd share my channel with your friends and family. If you happen to need individualized help in correcting stubborn pronunciation errors, I'm also available for more personalized instruction. Just click on the link in the video description below. In the meantime, happy practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.